Hello everyone and welcome back. So in today's video I have a bunch of random tips to share with you, from edge breakup with Karma to slightly more advanced roof setups. Hopefully you'll get away with something worth watching. So let's get started. So right here I have this Lego piece and I would like to add some edge breakup to it on the sharp edges. So I could obviously add a bevel, but let's say you want to add it at render time, but not only round them but also break them with a noise. So let's see how we can do that. So as you can see, this is the final result, and obviously I'm using the round edge Karma nodes with this specific radius. And if I take this node and connect it to the normal, you can see it creates the round edge. But if I take this mix I have in here, I have added some noise to break up the edges, and the way I'm doing that is pretty simple. So this node outputs the modified normals, as you can see, the rounded normals, and I am taking those normals and adding some noise, as you can see, and then I am mixing between the original normals, so original modified normals, let's say, and the normals where I added some noise, and this is the result. And as a mixing factor I'm using the second output of this node, which is this round mask. So pretty easy to understand, I believe. And this is the final normals, and if I show the final result, you can see we have this edge breakup, which can work, doesn't work for very close-up renders, but from mid-range to background props it can work pretty well. So as you can see, I have this camera, and outside of it, outside of the view, I have this mask that has some slight opacity, and I would like to darken that so I don't actually see any geometry. Let's say I'm working with an animation and I don't want to see outside of the view frame. So it's pretty easy. You press D and you go to camera, and right here where it says view mask opacity, just set it to 1 and you won't see anything outside that view area. So in this one I will quickly show you how you can link Sublime Text Editor as an external tool to edit your code, let's say Vex. And also how to set up the syntax highlighting for Vex. So it's pretty simple. You just go to Edit, Preferences, and Set External Editor, and you select Sublime. I already did that, so I'm going to the next step, which is go to Expression and Edit in External Editor, and I have it right here. So as you can see, if I start to type, I don't have the Vex syntax highlighting, so I'm going to Tools and Install Package Control, and this should set you up. Then go to Preferences and go to Preferences and Package Control and Install Package. And now you're gonna search for Vex, and the first one should be fine. So let's go. Now we need to close this and reopen. So let's go to Expression and Edit, and now I can create a for loop, let's say, for endpoints, and I can set to 0 and say print f percentage shine I and print I. This is, and I'm gonna save it, and of course is not working because I forgot to add the semicolon, and now it's working. So that's how you do it. So let's say you have a non-uniform grid like this, a rectangle of 12 by 8, and you want to get uniform divisions or uniform cells. So you can't always get a perfect result, but you can get pretty close with an expression. So let's, in this case, I'm gonna set up already the rows. Let's say 8. I'm gonna copy it and paste it on the columns, and then I'm gonna multiply by the ratio of the dimensions, so size x divided by size y. And if I change the rows, you can see we almost always get a perfect result as long as they share a common factor. So it's not perfect, but close enough. So in here I have this more complex roof shape, and what I'm gonna show you is on how you can use a divide node with expressions, so you have even or consistent divisions along the different parts of the geometry. As you can see, this is one part, this is another one with a different size, and they all get the same distribution, let's say. So the way I'm doing that is, first of all, I'm orienting the polygons properly so I can use the divide node, and then I can transform them back, as you can see. But you can have a look at the file on Patreon and see how it's done. So here in the divide node, which is the most important, let's say, I am again, if you watch the roof tutorial, I'm using a density X and density Z, and I'm taking, in this case, the X size on the X field, taking the bounding box X size and dividing it by an integer, so that's why I'm using the seal, so I get even distribution. And I'm dividing it by the bounding box again and multiply it by the density so I can distribute it properly. And I'm doing the same on the Z size, but in this case using obviously the Z and the density Z, as you can see. And this way you will always have a consistent size along the different sections. As you can see, you always get the same results or similar enough. And if I enable this and check the final results, and you get a pretty even result. So that's basically it, guys. Hopefully you picked up something new. And as always, you can grab sample files on my Patreon, along with exclusive tutorials and courses. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Thank you.